Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. ArchieLuxury from the ArchieLuxury channel, the Paul Pluta channel, and ArchieLuxury corporate. Guys, keep watching. Keep watching. I need the viewers. I need the viewers. I need the subs. I need it. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell your friends, whether you like them or hate them. Just tell them anyhow. ArchieLuxury on YouTube. Hey guys, it's your pontiff, Archibald Chesterfield III. And today, guys, I want to have a talk about anxiety. And I got to make a complete, total honesty confession to you guys. I've been suffering from anxiety for the last month or two. And it's strange. Anxiety seems to get me when I've had a number of little crumbling disasters. Crumbling disasters, you know, just a few things that push it over the edge. So what's gone wrong? What's gone wrong in the Archibald Chesterfield? Well, I've had some issues in my personal life. I've had problems with my adult children. I have had problems in my relationships with ladies. I have had financial pressure. And it's just a number of things that really get me down. I feel very anxious. And when I'm anxious, I seem to procrastinate. I seem to do nothing, which makes me even more anxious for the next day. The only saving grace is at nighttime I have a little bit of a high because I'm thinking I can go to sleep and not think about these pressures and dilemmas that I've got. And I got to be totally honest with you. You know, this whole situation has been we've had some terrible news in the state of Queensland. We had the Labor government, Anastasia Palaszczuk. She won the election. Really annoys me. I was hoping the other side could come back in. The only good thing is Jackie Trad got the boot. Thank God for that. There is a bit of a silver lining. The Trumpster, it looks like the Trumpster's on the way out. And, you know, I got to be honest with you, in my own life itself there, I've always done YouTube and said, you know, if this fails, I can drive Uber, I can drive taxis, I can get an IT job, I can do anything. Well, with COVID the way it is, those options are no longer viable. See, people aren't taking taxi cabs or Ubers to the airport because they're not flying anywhere. So that option is no longer on the menu. The other thing that's caused me great anxiety is that if I was anxious or upset, I'd book a ticket and go and have, you know, a couple days overseas or interstate. With this COVID lockdown, I'm not allowed to leave the state of Queensland. I'm stuck here in Brisbane. And I would love to go down to Melbourne, see the sucker horn, go to China Bar, have roast duck, roast pork, rice, and then me and Dave would convince ourselves we're on a health kick and we would have Nando's with the salad at night time. It was just so cool. Nando's with the 2 corns, thank you. And I gotta be honest with you, it's a different world we are in. So now, you know, I'm stuck in Brisbane. You know, if I wanted a bit of fluff before, you'd just go singers or honkers, or, you know, you go on the Tinder, ding, 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 or overweight, lower middle class white guy was quite an appealing chap. Well, that don't work in Brisbane, believe you me. The caliber of women here, it's a disaster, absolute disaster. And I gotta be totally honest with you, totally honest and to the point, I don't see it getting better. Okay, to be totally honest with you, COVID and all this stuff, I see it being pretty damn hard. It's very, very hard. I find it very tough. I'd love jump on a jet plane. If I was feeling anxious on a Monday, I'd go on Webjet, book myself a flight to Bangers, book a hotel. I might go on the Thai Friendly website or Thai Friendly. Yeah, Thai Friendly. I go Thai Friendly or Date in Asia. Date in Asia. That's right. Date in Asia. I'd have the Tinder and the Badoo all hooked up, and I'd go crazy. It's all amazing. Well, those options are no longer available. I mean, I used to be able to, if I was feeling a bit down, I could get a ticket to Bangers, $950, under $950 Aussie. A hotel would cost me about $50 to $60 a night. I'd have a great time. I could catch up with 53 and a half. I got a good mate of mine I sold the Explorer to. He always takes me out to Indian. Man, I just have a wild time in Bangers. Make vids, upload. I'd just be happy. Instead, I'm stuck in Brisbane with all these leftist lesbians on Tinder, Badoo, and OkCupid, and Poff. I'm stuck in Brisbane, and it really, really sucks. It really, really sucks. It sucks, okay? That's what it really, really sucks. I'm stuck here, I'm trapped. I go to Singers, you hook up with I got a few old girlfriends there, you'd hook up, you'd go to the airport. Man, I just remember landing in Singers or Bangers and you just smell it just smells completely different. I don't know what it was, man. I remember one of the best flights I used to like was I'd take a Thursday night. It's actually it was a Thursday AM flight. So like 2 in the morning, 2:50 in the morning. I'd fly Emirates to Singers, and half the time the plane would be empty. So you grab a couple seats, put some pillows, you just go and have a sleep in the plane. Wake up, 8 o'clock, we're landing in Singers. And when we hit the tarmac and they open the door, you walk through that air bridge, you can just feel the heat. You're out of Brisbane. It was so good. It felt amazing. Felt amazing. I was in Singers. I'd take a taxi to the hotel, throw my bags in. Dave would usually come with me. If we're going with Dave, he'd book a classy joint. The Ben Coolin would stay there, go and have some duck. Man, I just had the time of my life. I'd have the time of my life. And get on the Tinder, the Ploff. I remember I was one time in Singers and, things were a bit, I did this date with this girl and she turned out to be very, very frigid. and she went to the toilet, and I texted her and said, "This isn't working, honey. I wish you well. Good luck with your search." And that was just amazing. I love the singers. I love singers. Go to Marina Bay Sands. I loved it. And then sometimes I'd go fly to. When I was flying, when was I? So that was a really good flight. I love that landing in Singers. So I'd take the flight at 2:55 Thursday morning, and I'd land 8 o'clock Singapore time. That was a good flight. Yeah, that was a great flight. The other thing I used to like, yeah, that's right. I used to like the Bangkok. I would fly. How did I get to Bangkok? I used to fly a lot with Thai. And I'd leave. It was leaving in the afternoon. That's right. It would leave in the afternoon. Right. So you leave in the afternoon. I think it was about 2 o'clock or something. It would leave. Let me just have a look here. When was it? It was TG74. Let's have a look. TG4. Oops. I'm just going to call this up. TG474. TG. No, that's not it. TG. Oh, there we go. TG474. Brisbane to Bangkok. And that would depart at 2. It departed 2 o'clock. That's right. TG474. It would leave at 2 in the afternoon. That's right. It was usually at 777. I love the Boeing 777s. And it would arrive at 8:10 that night. So you leave in the afternoon, Brisbane, and you'd arrive 8:10 Thai time. Yeah, that was a great flight. I love that TG474. And the first... Yeah, that was a great flight. I love TG474. That was a great flight. So you'd leave Brisbane at 2 o'clock. You'd have the big chicken. I'd have the chicken burger. Post the video. And I'd arrive 8 o'clock, 8:10 Thai time. I usually got out of customs and got my baggage by about 9 p.m. And as soon as, often that flight, you had to take a bus into the terminal. That pissed me off. Thai Airways pissed me off a bit. They didn't even land with the air bridge. You'd land and you had to take a bus into the the terminal. That's right. And yeah, I loved it. I remember that first night you arrive in Bangers and you're at the airport. You've got a euphoric high because you're out of Brisbane and the Western world bullshit. You're out of Brisbane. And as soon as you got onto the tarmac, the air was, hot, humid. Loved it. And then you take a taxi all the way to Sukhumvit. Or you'd have a bird would be waiting for. Yeah, it was amazing. And I always loved the trip into Bangkok from the airport, from Suthapon Airport into the city. I loved it. You just felt home. You felt home. You really felt Suthapon Airport. You just felt home. you really felt at home. You felt at home when you're in the taxi going into Sukhumvit. Yeah, that was it. And you'd throw your bags in. You'd throw, and you're just so happy and excited. You couldn't sleep. You couldn't. You lay down for 2 minutes. I gotta go. You had to go down in the soys, and my God, you just couldn't sleep. It was euphoric. It was like this is the last day of your life. I remember that. I remember when I landed in Bangkok. Got the TG 474, 8:10 your plane landed. You cleared customs by about 9. You got a bit of currency. In a taxi to Sukhumvit. And I mean, when you got there, man, you just couldn't stop. You could not stop. I went to bed probably about 2 a.m. Bangkok time. Yeah, 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep. You just mentally, I wake up at 3 in the morning, let's go for a walk. I just loved it, man. I loved it. Staying at the Grand Dynasty. Yeah, or the Majestic. Or in Siloam. I remember staying in Siloam. Fermura X or Siloam Serene. The Siloam Serene. Man, the anxiety's gone. Oh my God, I loved it, man. I loved it. I remember. It was amazing. The first night in Bangers, man, you couldn't sleep. I just so excited. You just, oh my God, the music, the soys. Oh my God, it was incredible. And yeah, I loved Honkers. Honkers was another. Honkers. I loved Honkers. You'd take the train into the city. That's what you'd do. You take the train, the airport train into the city. I never understood Hong Kong until a while ago. You know, now I understand Hong Kong. You go Central and Tim Sim Sui is where I wanted to be. Nathan Road, Tim Sim Sui. That's where I was staying. Man, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Malaysia. I remember landing in Malaysia. They've got a very good train. They've got a very good train into the city as well. Malaysia's got a great train. The airport, yeah, the Malaysia's got the Airport Express. That's beautiful. Malaysia, I love Malaysia. I love Kuala Lumpur. I loved it. What else sort of stands out? I loved Honkers. I love Honkers. That Tim Sim Sui area is just amazing. Tim Sim Sui. I loved Honkers. Singapore. I love Singapore. Honkers. I think Bangers. I'd like to go back to Bangers. That's probably. I got a lot of respect for that city. I love Bangers. I just love. You know, it's no longer the cheapest place, and you know, it's got its own problems there. But Bangers. Food is amazing. The girls are incredible. Taxis are cheap. What more can I say? Bangers. Yeah, Bangers. I think I miss Bangers the most, you know? Bangers! Bangkok! You land at the airport. The air was different. You go through customs. When you're in the taxi going to your hotel, man! I loved it because it was just You were out of the Western world. It was so different. It was so different. When you're driving on the highway, I mean, the ties, it's just so much building and progress, and it's different standard to the Western world. It's different, it's different. You think, far out, if the buildings could talk. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely, positively loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I loved it. I loved Bangers. I loved Singapore. Loved Hong Kong. I didn't really have the same affinity to Japan. I hadn't been there that many times. Vietnam, I've only been there once. Malaysia, I got Bangkok, Hong Kong, Singapore, KL, Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, I like KL. I did like KL. What else? What else did I have? Probably the greatest feeling, catching that TG 474. It lands at 8:10 p.m. Yeah, that's a good flight. That was an amazing. I loved it. You land there, you're in Bangers. I loved it. I missed that so much. Book a ticket, off you go. You know. It was amazing. Very much amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I think it was absolutely amazing. I loved the travel. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I really loved it. Really, really, really loved it. Guys! This is the anxiety busters, the travel, and now I'm stuck in Brisbane. Kinda sucks. Kinda sucks. Okay, guys, that's my battle with anxiety. I blame COVID. I blame the Chinese. Guys, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Cut! Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Patek's came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.